Here we go, reacting to Zak George's second video of him training a Cane Corso. This one is titled, How to Survive Night 1 with a Totally Untrained Dog. So, I'm probably going to have to skip around here. It is 7:25 a.m. and I have to quickly get on a plane because we finally going on vacation, on our yearly vacation to Orlando, Florida. Very pumped for that.
I'm Zak George. If you really want to know how to train a dog from day one, you've hit the jackpot with this series. If you want to learn how to joyfully raise and train dogs, subscribe to my channel and click that thumbs up button. Meet Shade, a Cane Corso, so raw in his training, he's essentially a blank canvas. Over the next few weeks, I have the task of teaching him to be the epitome of a well-behaved dog. We're going to tackle those common puppy challenges, housebreaking, not
a lot of you guys agreed with
teaching him how to focus and pay attention, mitigating problematic behaviors like biting and chewing.
Yes, okay, that was great.
First crate training session.
This is going to be my first night with Shade. As far as I know, he's never been introduced to a crate at all. Let's see if he puts 2 and 2 together.
I like how he's doing that. You know, I did the same. Even with the crate that we have back here, the new one, the Impact Dog crate, I was throwing treats in there just to get the dogs used to it. It's a happy place. It's fun.
He can feel secure, that's nice and safe for him. Kind of like a bedroom. You might notice that it's absolutely huge. My personal preference has always been to use large crates. I like oversized.
I also like oversized crates. You can get puppy dividers to put in there because a dog typically won't go to the bathroom where they sleep. But for example, Cane Corso is huge and they grow so fast. You don't want to just keep buying crates. So you're probably going to want to get a crate like the Impact Dog crates that you can find linked in the description box below. We have the collapsible one. You can buy crate separators so it makes it smaller, or you can just have the full-size crate. The dogs, I like full-size crates so the dogs can spread out, especially being as big as they are, being Mastiffs. I really go hard on their joint care.
When I'm doing crate training, it's vital that the dog enters on their own terms. If they don't willingly go in, it's time to look at different strategies.
Good, okay.
And I did the same with both dogs, just throw treats in there.
And we'll go out. How about that? A lot of people will put their dog in a crate and then just
every time they go in the crate,
we want them to know,
when they go in the crate, I would say, good crate, to reinforce that word crate, because I want them to go in it. So at night, I'd just be like, Justice, crate, Bruce, crate, and they'd go in their crate. So I'd have like a marker word.
And out. Like the harness before, we're trying to create this association with the crate. Make it fun, make him enthusiastic about participating in the activities that we want. So now I'm going for a little bit longer duration. I'm gonna close the door for a second.
Yep. Like how he's keeping the dog happy, calm.
Yes.
Everything I would do, everything that I feel like should be done.
Leave it open for a second. I'm gonna close it. He's doing a great job so far.
Also,
right now we just want to get him comfortable.
See how he
was
rattling the crate? He wasn't, I don't think he was intentionally doing it, but it's good to kind of rattle the crate, especially a wire crate, because they make weird sounds, because you don't want to be able to startle the dog. You don't want to startle the dog. So if he's having his snacks, his treats, and you just make a slight rattle, it's going to desensitize him to that sound, because it can scare some dogs.
I'm intentionally scattering his food about rather than just putting it in there so that he is encouraged
Shade
to
looks very confident, tails up, looks happy.
Let's try an experiment here. Let's see what happens.
Tail's wiggly.
I'm gonna go ahead and put another amount in there. Let me go ahead and close the crate. All right, a little anxiety there. Okay.
He's pacing back and forth a little bit.
Pacing like this in a confined area like a crate does signal a dog's heightened state of anxiety. This repetitive movement is a physiological response. See, as the stress builds, a dog's body is going to release hormones like adrenaline, for example, prompting some type of activity. So by pacing, the dog is attempting to channel this surging energy they're receiving because they're seeking relief from the discomfort. There are aversives in our dog's life naturally, even when we're training them and trying to avoid them. The point is, we don't want to intentionally use aversive methods in our training. How do you all feel about crate training? Do you use a crate? Did you find it helpful? Or did your dog find it more?
Crate training is a must. If you don't have eyes on your dog, especially not dog, but puppy, like they can literally kill themselves getting into something they shouldn't, or they're gonna destroy your house. So crate training from day one is a must. And my huge philosophy with dogs when you get a puppy, create the life that you want them to have from the moment you have them. When we got Bruce, for example, Kara wanted to take 2 weeks off of work. I'm like, no, because you're already pulling him away from the mom, right? And all his litter mates. You're completely changing his life. And now you're giving him a new life that he thinks you're going to be around all the time. And then 2 weeks later, you're going to go to work and he's going to be like, have to go through this whole process again. It's so much stress. So night one, dog's in the crate. Dog's crying all night. I'm not in there with the dog. I'm just like in the other room. If you got to put headphones on, put headphones on. The dog will eventually get over it. It may take 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights a week, but they do eventually get over it and get used to it. I always try to create that life for a puppy, like that life they're going to have from day one, instead of like changing their life over and over and over. It's so stressful, which is what I discussed about with him board and training a puppy. They literally have a puppy, took it from the parents, gave it to Zach. Now they're going to give it, I don't know how long he's going to have it for, but it's hard for a puppy to deal with that, any dog.
Stressful than not. Not every dog is cut out for crate training, if I'm being honest.
He's a little hesitant since I closed it. I may have set myself back a little bit there. Hey, handsome. What's going on? Is he just full, or does he not want to go in the crate? Let's see. Will he eat that? Oh, see, he'll eat it there. Now when it goes in the crate, he's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's really easy to move quickly with some dogs. Whereas with some dogs, having that door shut for just a few seconds wouldn't be a big deal. For him, he was like, wait a minute. This is part of just really getting to know each individual dog. I've got to learn what I can get away with and what I can't.
I really don't want to end this training session on such a tense moment. So I do want to reach deeper. I want to see if I can motivate Shade to
always try to end your training sessions on wins. Especially puppies, they have such a short attention span. So let's say whenever you start doing heel work with your dog, you know, this is too young, but just for an example, you're doing heel work with your dog. You don't want to do it so long where your dog's gonna have fails. Keep it short, keep the sessions fun, and end on a win. You want as many wins as possible, as little fails as possible.
Voluntarily re-enter the crate and see if I can rebuild his confidence and pick this up at another time.
Maybe this will work.
I also would go in the crate.
My goal here isn't even necessarily to get them comfortable in there.
To get them comfortable in there.
For the evening.
Then I'd like use the power of touch.
Can I get a
the
minute
massage, massaging their ears, things that feel good. So they associate that good feeling with the crate.
I'm gonna keep this in my back pocket for tonight. So if he does become a bit restless, maybe it will pacify him. Will it work? I don't know.
Undoubtedly, providing a young puppy like Shade with a chew such as this beef tendon offers immense value.
I see him thinking about probably chewing on that wood. That makes a lot of sense. Puppies like to chew on things, so I think I am gonna go ahead and give him that chew right now. That's a turbo tendon chew. You know how I'm always saying be one step ahead of your dog? This is a good example. The turbo tendon is a hit, and you can see quite literally how hopefully it's saving my furniture.
Yep.
Your dog could just as easily be chewing the furniture.
Teething, they're going to be chewing.
Having something that's desirable to chew on nearby.
Puppies
when you have a 14-week-old puppy,
so
don't assume they're not going to chew.
It's up to us.
They need to chew.
To teach them what they're allowed to chew and what they're not allowed to chew. I would never let Bruce or Justice, if they were playing with plushies, like plush toys, rip them apart and just obsessively chew over them, because a puppy isn't going to be able to identify their plush chew from your pillow or your sock, and they're going to start eating that stuff. If they're playing with it, just walking around with it, cool, but like if Justice started trying to pull it apart, for example, I would teach him, once he knew what NO meant, what no meant, I'd tell him no, and I'd take it from him, give it back to him, and then if he started tugging at it, trying to rip it apart again, same thing, take it from him, give it back to him, and usually he would understand that he's not allowed to rip it apart just by doing that over and over and over.
Have chews of varying degrees of toughness and textures.
Hopefully this chewing will keep him occupied until he becomes tired again at bedtime.
It's just before bedtime, and I'm trying to get him to go poop, and he is not getting the idea that that's what I want him to do. And I'm hoping he'll do it before I go to sleep.
I was outside for probably 15, 20 minutes, and Shade didn't seem to have to relieve himself.
A tip, guys, if you live in a very cold winter climate, sometimes you can't control when you get a dog. Try to avoid getting a puppy in the middle of winter, like we did with Justice, it was horrible. It was like 20 below here. And even spring, because it's so muddy. I know you can't always control when you get a puppy if you're on a breeder list, but summertime's the easiest to raise a dog.
Any further.
Maybe he really doesn't have to go. I don't know if I've ever been successful in not having a dog sleep with me on the first night. Getting darker, Shade's still conscious. Nightfall is upon us.
Sleeping.
It's so late, he hasn't pooped. He won't relax, so I'm just gonna let him chill here. Puppy training is all about picking.
Is he letting the dog sleep with him in bed day one? Like, ooh. If so, let's just see before we comment on that. Let's see.
Your battles. He had such a good day. He's had so much going on. Will he settle down?
Now my aim is to try to help him settle down and fall asleep so that he gets a good night's sleep. Shade's had a full day. He's likely had some stress happen to him throughout the day. My role is to do my best to ease that for his success. So he's shuffling around a little bit, but he seems just about ready to fall unconscious,
put him in the crate?
which would be great.
I'll take it. I've got to figure out how to get up and turn these lights off. He's such a loud snorer.
Okay.
I didn't have to get up one time.
All right, so sleeping with your dog, guys, don't do it. Do not sleep in bed with your puppy. Huge no-no. Most dog trainers will tell you that. I can't believe he's actually doing that. I don't want to like rag on anyone. So if my family members that's watching this, not trying to throw shade your way whatsoever. So one of my family members slept with their puppy for 6 months. The dog is an adult now. The dog thinks they are the chew toy. They're the playmate, like litter mate. The dog doesn't see them as the leader. And sleeping with your dog, it's sometimes they'll start to think that you're their litter mate, you're their equal, which is not the case. Now, when Bruce and Justice matured more out of puppyhood, yeah, I'd let them hop on bed. I wouldn't let them sleep in bed the whole night. But if I'm like, for example, if I'd take a nap, I'd let Bruce hop in there and like sleep in bed with me. I would not let, but again, not as a puppy. They already proved themselves. They already knew who the leader was and they respected me. Huge no-no. Zach should not be sleeping with this puppy whatsoever. He's definitely setting the wrong precedents. This isn't your normal dog, guys. This is a Cane Corso. They changed drastically through adolescence and puppyhood. They have to fully understand their role in the pack hierarchy, and they're below all humans. They're not equal to humans. Let's just see what else he has here.
The night, and he has just been passed out. All right, you guys, I think we did it. He slept well. I still have to get him outside. Believe it or not, he went all night, didn't wake me up. He was absolutely perfect overnight. What a man. Big stretch.
It's because Cane Corsos are
and
very
now
easy
that I've let him out,
raise.
he hasn't even peed yet. So far, he's just standing there.
Bruce and Justice do the same thing. Like, I would get home from work after Bruce being, as a young puppy, I'd be gone for 12 hours. I'd come home. He'd want to play outside. I'd let him outside. We'd be out there, and he'd be running around with his ball. I'd be like, Bruce, go to the bathroom. And then he'd literally stop and pee. So again, you want to, when your dog's going to the bathroom, be like, good bathroom, good bathroom. So you're marking that behavior. But he's surprised I'm not. Cane Corsos are super easy puppies to raise, guys, as long as you're doing it correctly.
And he doesn't want to move. And if I try to encourage him with even minor leash pressure, he's like, no. So that's something we need to work on to positively condition that. My goal is to see if I can just get his nose to the ground somehow. Maybe I can get him to sniff.
Teaching Shade to be efficient during potty breaks, that would save both of us a lot of time outdoors. And right now, he's not even sniffing. I know dogs have to do that before they do.
Can't believe you didn't recognize the dog being scared here.
Doesn't want to move. And if I try to encourage him with even minor leash pressure, he's like, no. So that's something we need to work on to positively condition that. My goal is to see if I can just get his nose to the ground somehow. Maybe I can get him to sniff.
Teaching Shade to be efficient during potty breaks, that would save both of us a lot of time outdoors. And right now, he's not even sniffing. I know dogs have to do that before they do their business.
Guys, this might be the silliest thing, but I'm just going to try. All right, I got some treats. I'm going to break them up.
kind of crumble him. I'm gonna throw him there. Okay, so now I've got his nose on the ground. I'm gonna take his leash off. Maybe by scattering treats and encouraging him to sniff the ground, I can subtly guide those sniffing instincts. The hope is that once he's engaged in sniffing those treats on the ground, he might naturally transition into doing his business. It is an out-of-the-box approach. The reason sniffing is such an essential behavior for dogs before they relieve themselves is because it really allows them to engage with their environment. And this sensory stimulation really facilitates the natural reflexes needed to go pee and poop. Wild, isn't it? So he's eating the crumbs. It looks like it worked to at least get his nose on the ground for a second. You sniff the ground and then you go pee. Yep, keep doing that.
Tail down still. All right. There he's peeing. Now he should have been marking that with like a good bathroom.
What was your first night like with your dog or multiple dogs? Tell me everything below. In my first real training session, we're going to establish the meaning of the word yes, setting the foundation for not only his basics, but for advanced training in the future too. This is
I like that because a lot of people people would always message me saying, I'm telling my dog no, and it's still doing it. It's like it's a baby. It doesn't understand the word no. It doesn't understand the word yes. It's up to you to teach them yes, no, their name. Everybody, a lot of people assume that the dog should know what no means.
Remarkable possibilities. Mastering basic skills, refining his leash walking skills. I mean, he's going to be...
All right, so that's that. Overall, I think he handled the dog well, other than sleeping with it. Huge no-no. Don't do that, guys. Please do not do that with a puppy. Like I said, I like to, when we get a puppy, show its life that it's going to live. That way you're not creating unwanted stress. He's all about positive dog training and not creating stress on the dog. He's creating stress on the dog without even realizing it because he's sleeping with his dog, unless he's planning on sleeping with it forever, which you shouldn't do either. When he stops doing that, it's going to create an emotional, stressful response on the dog. As you guys know, I'm not positive only. I'm balanced. Without up, there's no down. Without negative, there's no positive, right? You need that yin and yang. But overall, the crate, I like the crate stuff he did. I like the throwing food on the floor on the ground to try to get him to pee. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Leave me a comment down below and make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a new one. So you don't miss the next video on this Zak George reaction training series. And I have to, at 7:45, I have to leave here for 9. I got to pack, so I gotta go, guys. I'll see y'all in Florida. Peace.